Hey guys, I am so excited to be here on this video series that we're starting where we are deep diving into the truth about employee turnover. These are the things that they don't teach you in school. These are the things that unfortunately you have to learn the hard way in the position and when it happens, right? So I'm here to help you avoid having all of those terrible situations from happening, those HR nightmares, those bad hires, and how much it truly costs you and your practice when you have to fill this position. Because the first thing that we know, 100% sure of, is that employee turnover stinks. It's a terrible feeling when your lead assistant comes to you at the end of a busy day and hands you her 2 weeks notice. It feels like you just got punched in the gut, right? It takes you down for the count. And there's so much work, time, and energy that's involved in you trying to find that right person and fill the position as quickly as possible. But you can't just hope and pray and expect that rock star person to show up on your front desk and for them to be an amazing person that requires absolutely no training and is a mind reader, right? Unfortunately, those things don't exist. So there's a lot of things that you need to do to prepare yourself so that you are making every new hire your best employee. So I want to start off, before we dive into the how, we need to look at the why. Why are these team members leaving? What is this internal problem that exists in your practice that is infecting the rest of your team and having workplace zombies, people who are unmotivated, who are not productive, or having team members who are constantly leaving, right? And fueling this vicious cycle that's causing more and more people to leave and having you start from square one again and again. So this is a warning. We need to have a disclaimer here on this video because we're going to be diving into things and we're going to be showing line by line, literally doing the calculations and showing you how much this is costing your practice. And this isn't for the faint of heart. So if you have any heart issues, I do not want you to be watching this video, okay? I am going to be sharing my screen. I have my calculator ready. We're going to start calculating and going over how much this is costing your practice and the harsh reality and the truth about employee turnover so that we can fix those issues, we can stop the bleeding, and we can make sure that we are hiring the right people who are going to understand what's expected of them and they are going to be with you long term. Okay, let's get started. Are you guys ready? Yes. All right. Share my screen. Let's go here. Okay, so let's start going line by line and going through what it would cost you to replace that dental assistant who just gave her notice. So you're hiring for a position that is, you are the wage, oh, here we go, I gotta switch it over, sorry. So you are hiring for somebody for $16 an hour, a dental assistant. But your manager, you are paying her $25 an hour. Now this manager is the one who's going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting, right? They're going to be the one who's recruiting, who's screening, who's doing the initial interviews and getting them and narrowing it down so that you're meeting the top people for their practice. So that's going to start off by making sure that you have a job posting. So you're attracting the right people and getting all of those applications flowing. So there's going to be some job boards that are free, like Indeed or Facebook, but there are most job boards where you actually have to pay money to be able to host your position on their job board. So I've seen everything from $29 all the way to $299. So for this purpose, let's just say that it's going to cost you an average of $100. And so there's a total, $100. Okay, not so bad, right? But now you're getting all of those applications, you're getting all of those candidates. So now your manager has to start reviewing the resumes, screening them, shortlisting them, and then contacting and calling all of those candidates. So let's say that as she's calling these candidates, she's not going to be able to reach all of them every single time, right? Because she's calling during business hours and those people are most likely at their jobs. So it's going to take a little bit of back and forth, which is time consuming. And then she has to do the actual phone interviews. So let's say this entire process takes her 1 hour, okay? So maybe she has a list of 50 applicants who have applied, but she's narrowed it down to 15 of those who are actually worth contacting. And what are we paying her again? We're paying her $25 an hour. So now this entire process of her screening 15 resumes is $375. So from those 15 resumes, maybe she's narrowed it down to 5 people who are worth coming into the practice and meeting. Now that process is probably going to take her nothing less than an hour. Those people are coming in, she's giving them a tour of the office, getting them to meet the team, and then probably spending some time before you're ready in between patients to come and meet this person. So we're meeting 5 people, we're paying her $25 an hour. That's $125, okay? Out of those 5 people, there are 3 that you guys have agreed upon and said, we really like them. Let's have them come in for a working interview. Now, those working interviews are typically a full day, and you have to pay those team members, right? So now you're paying this person $16 an hour for a full day's work, so that's $128 a day. But you have 3 of them coming in. So that's $384. So $384 for 3 working interviews. And now we need to do some reference checks and background checks. So let's say if we're doing that for 3 people, that's going to take her about an hour. So now we're back. We have 25 plus 384 plus 125. That entire process is $534. Okay. Not too bad, right? So now we've been able to narrow it down. We found that right person, done the interviews, done the reference checks, and this person accepted to the position. It's their first day. But let's be honest, this person isn't going to be a rock star from day one, right? There's going to be some time that it's going to take. And it's going to take much more than just 1 full day for them to be able to be on board, understand your services, your philosophies, how to do certain things the way that you expect them in your practice. It's going to typically take about a full week before they're ready to actually start going off on their own. So now you have to pay the dental assistant wage, and you have to pay your office manager so that she's mentoring them and coaching them. So for that entire wage, you are paying 2 people, and they're not even able to fully produce their job. They're not being able to produce the results, reach your practice production goals per hour per day because they are focused on training, right? So now we have your new team member, $16 an hour for 8 hours, that's $128. Now your mentor, which is your office manager, is $25 an hour times 8, that's $200 a day. So you are paying $328 a day, and they are only able to just train and work on the actual systems of their practice. So they're working in the business, not on your business, growing it. So for that full week, you are paying them $16.40 for them not to even able to produce any income or revenue in your practice. So if your goal is to, let's say, produce $250 an hour, because they're not focused on that, that's kind of falling through the cracks. The people who are calling to cancel those appointments, your manager isn't able to go in and get those times scheduled. So now you have some holes and blocks. You're not producing, or maybe she's not able to do the follow-up calls for all of those new patient consults or those treatment plans that are pending and they haven't gone forward with treatment, losing revenue. And then maybe she doesn't have the time to be able to actually do treatment coordinating, losing more revenue, right? So that's $250 an hour times 8 hours. That's $2,000 a day that they're not able to bring in, that's costing you. You are losing $2,000 a day times 5, which is $10,000 for the week. Okay, so 10,000 plus 1640 plus 534 plus 375 plus $100. That is, drum roll please, $12,649 just for 1 week. Okay, but again, by the second week, this lead assistant isn't going to be the top performer just yet. They're probably going to be a little bit slower. It's going to be slowing down the clinic. They're going to be going and asking more questions to the office manager, which is taking her away from her work and from producing money and driving revenue and driving your business forward. So maybe they're able to produce some, but not all. So let's just say that adds on week 2, maybe is another $6,324.50. So what's the grand total for that for those 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of that team member, you are losing $18,900, that's a 7, $73.50. Okay? But what if that person is a bad hire? Now it's starting to impact your practice in other ways, right? So team morale, that's going down, right? Everybody is frustrated. They are exhausted. It's starting to really weigh them down, and they're not able to produce what you expect them either. So now that's slowing that down. Or you have upset patients because now they're having to wait. Or maybe that dental assistant just has terrible bedside manner and you're losing people because of it. Or it's slowing your business down. So again, that's driving the production down and you're losing money. Then that's productivity, right? You're not as efficient. You're running behind. Maybe you have to pay people overtime because now they're working longer hours to be able to make up for all of that. And a big one is stress. Okay, so that, let's say, is adding on another $9,000. So half of that. So now the grand total is $27,973.50, because that's just 2 weeks of hiring this person. It's 2 weeks of the time to be able to find this person, train them, only for them to be actually, costing you money because they're a bad hire. Now, let's be honest here. Maybe you had more than just one bad hire, right? You had that one team member who left. You hired this bad hire to come on board so that you spent 2 weeks training them. You lost $27,000. You let them go, but now you're back at square one again. So let's times that figure by 2, because now you've had to do it again. So the grand total is $55,000 that you are losing because of employee turnover. Now that is huge, guys. Like, this gives me heart palpitations. This gets me stressed out. This is a lot of money, $55,000. That money you could have reinvested into a killer marketing plan that would have taken your business and driven so many potential patients into your office. That would have made you a leader in your industry because you're dumping so much money into that. $55,000 is huge. Or else you could have invested that money in actually buying an iTero machine, and then you'd still have money left over to take your entire team to a dental conference, maybe the Delivering Wow conference in Jamaica. Guys, without looking at the actual figure, we tend to end up just pushing this down and not seeing the importance or how much this is actually costing us. This is a lot of money to be bleeding and for things to be, all of that time and energy, and not just about cost and money. This is a huge blow to a practice. And if this is happening to you more than 2 times a year, I don't even want to think about how many employees you've had to hire. If that's gone up into 4, that's already over. That, I don't even want to think about it. That makes me weak. That makes my stomach churn. Now, the whole purpose of this video isn't meant to scare you guys. Okay, this is about bringing the awareness of the importance of having a plan and a strategy so that you're hiring the right people, you're asking the right questions, and you're integrating them in your practice with the right systems. Okay, so now we see how much this is costing us. But now we need to look at why these people are leaving. What are the real reasons of employee turnover? Why is this happening in your practice? These are the things that we're going to be focusing on tomorrow. So I hope you guys stay tuned, so in that way you can stop the bleeding of $55,000 that is just being drained out of your business. I can't wait to see you guys then. If you have any questions, or if you're really excited to be able to learn more about this, say, I'm ready. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow.